On March 14, 2024 at about 12 p.m., over 10 African countries lost access to the internet. That makes a grand total of about 478 million people who lost access to the internet, causing companies including Microsoft to lose hundreds of thousands or even up to millions of dollars in just a few hours. But how? I spent the past few days researching and reading dozens of articles online trying to find out what caused the internet outage, and what I found out was actually quite disturbing. In this video, I'm going to explain what caused this internet outage and how I was still able to connect to the internet even without a traditional internet connection. It's going to make sense later, I promise. Let me explain. On March 14 at about 1 p.m. GMT+1, I turned on my phone to check notifications online, but all of my apps kept on telling me that I didn't have an internet connection. And I found this quite strange because I had recently just bought a data bundle from my internet service provider. And after turning my phone on and off several times and trying several other SIM cards, I decided to contact my carrier for them to address the issue, and they told me that they had an issue on their optic fiber network and that internet services have been temporarily suspended. But I came to realize later that this was not the entire story. Before I continue with the story, I would like to explain what an optic fiber network is to those who do not know. It would be helpful for later. This video which you are watching is actually stored on one of Google's data centers in the United States. And depending on where you are watching from, this video has probably traveled hundreds or even thousands of kilometers to get to you wherever you are. A data center is a place where things are stored on the internet. Be it your favorite show on Netflix or something which you posted on Twitter, everything is stored on a data center. And an optic fiber cable is a means through which all of those things can travel from these data centers to meet you on your phone or laptop wherever you are in the world with the speed of light. These cables are buried underground because they are made of glass and can easily be damaged. A huge majority of these cables which connects continents together are found at the bottom of seas and oceans. Okay, enough of that. Let's go back to the story. After I realized that I could not connect to the internet using that network provider, I tried several other networks, but nothing. Even the Wi-Fi at home wasn't working, and that was when I realized that this was a universal problem. My neighbor has a satellite internet setup at his house, so I could connect to the internet using his Wi-Fi. I went online to see if I could find a way to solve the problem, but I only realized that neither could I solve the problem nor my internet service provider, because the internet outage was due to a disruption on the optical fiber cable network around the coast of Cote d'Ivoire, and the internet outage wasn't only experienced by my country but several other countries along the western coast of Africa, including Ghana, Burkina Faso, the Gambia, Guinea, Nigeria, Cameroon, and even South Africa. Hundreds of business transactions were paused, and big companies and small businesses lost hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars in just a few hours. And the craziest part about this situation is that not just one but 5 major optical fiber cable systems were affected by this problem. And just so you know, one of these optical fiber cables can be as big as a small car. So how do 5 optic fiber cables get destroyed all at once? Okay, before I continue with the story, please, if you've been enjoying this video so far, please make sure you like and you subscribe to the channel so that you won't miss videos like this, and people who like this type of videos can also be able to see it as well. Thank you. There are several optic fiber cable systems which interconnects continents around the world, and each of them has a unique name. From reports which I read online, the 3 optic fiber cable systems which were destroyed were the main one, the Africa coast to Europe, the West Africa cable system, the SAT3, and the Nigeria to Cameroon submarine cable system. All of these cables are hundreds of kilometers apart and at the bottom of the ocean. So how could all of these cables get damaged all at once? Main One is a West African digital infrastructure provider, and they said the following in a press release regarding the situation. Most submarine cable faults occur as a result of human activities such as fishing and anchoring in shallow waters near shore, natural hazards such as earthquakes, landslides, and then equipment failure. They continued by saying that human activities could not be the cause of the problem because of how far away the point of damage was from shore and how deep they were as well. and they concluded that their investigation suggested that seismic activities such as undersea earthquakes at the seabed might have caused the situation, and that they will find more answers as they proceed with repairs. 4 of these cables come and merge at a network center at Cote d'Ivoire, and it would make perfect sense if an earthquake damaged these 4 cables at that specific point. But what about the Nigeria to Cameroon submarine cable system, which is located several hundred kilometers away from that point, which was also affected by the problem? I tried finding out how, but I couldn't get a clear answer, and the whole situation started getting a little bit political, and I started seeing it as a planned act rather than an accident. But I don't like getting involved in political issues, so I'm not going to comment on that. No one really knows what caused this incident yet, but I will keep you updated as the story develops, so make sure you subscribe so that you won't miss it. I mentioned earlier in the video that I was still able to connect to the internet during the outage using satellite internet. If you would like to know what satellite internet is and how it works, then you might enjoy this video over here. No, just click anything you see anywhere on the screen. Thanks for watching.